So, guys, I want to talk to you guys about this new case that kind of have came to my attention. It's about this girl named Lauren Smith Fields. She died after a Bumble date.
A relative is found dead in her Connecticut apartment after meeting someone on a dating app. 23-year-old Lauren Smith Fields. This is her right here, folks. She was found inside her Bridgeport, Connecticut apartment last month.
It's been reports going around saying he's 50. He just put out an interview saying he's 37 years old.
The media has been alleging that Mr. LaFountain is a married man who is 50 years old. That couldn't be farther from the truth. He is single. He is 37 years of age. I'm not sure if that makes him old enough to be the decedent's father in this case.
This girl died in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Now, here's the crazy part. The family found out about her death from the landlord. The police never contacted the family.
The family says the police did not inform them that Lauren was even dead. They found out when they traveled to Bridgeport after not hearing from her, and Lauren's landlord told the family that she had passed away.
There's a lot of foul play in here. Majority of the people involved, I want to say the law enforcement, have either been convicted or is serving time in prison.
The police is the acting police chief, because the police chief is in federal prison doing a year sentence for some type of fraud related to his position, and so he's gone. And the acting police chief has said nothing. We've requested meetings with them. They have refused to meet with us. They brought us into the police department one time, and they put us in an interrogation room that was about 4 by 4, not a conference room. And it was myself, Miss Chantel, the mother, the two brothers, and the family advocate, squeezed into a small little room. And I've been in that room many times with clients of mine who've been accused of murder. It's the same interrogation room they put us in. So they've shown no respect at all for this family or this process. I was working on a bunch of cases here, and the prosecutor's office locally came up with some charges against me. And now that same prosecutor is being investigated for fraud. And he's the prosecutor for the entire state. So that's the entire state of Connecticut. So his name is Richard Colangelo. And this guy's been just a really bad character for a very long time. And so when you break it down to the local jurisdiction, which is Bridgeport, we have the mayor now who did 5 years in federal prison. Now the chief of police, who he appointed, is in federal prison now. He's been sentenced to 1 year.
It seems like everybody surrounding this case is really dirty. There's a lot of dirty cops in the Connecticut system. The police took his statement, and he basically said that, yes, he met her 3 days prior. Now, while they were on the date in her apartment, he said that she told him that her brother was supposed to be coming, and they met outside. And then when she got back up in the apartment, she went straight to the bathroom and came back, and they were watching television. And I guess she got sleepy, and while she got sleepy, she fell asleep. And when she fell asleep, he noticed she was sleeping, picked her up, put her in the bed so she can go to sleep, and slept right next to her. Now, I don't know about y'all, but not no Bumble date. Not that I just met you and I'm gonna have you just sleeping up in my bed, or you would feel comfortable enough to sleep in my bed. And then he said he woke up one time and saw her breathing and she was sleeping, to go to the bathroom. And then when he came back, he went to sleep, and then he woke up again, and that's when he noticed that she was unconscious and she wasn't breathing, and he saw blood through her nose, so he decided to call.
According to the police incident report, he went on to say that they began drinking shots of tequila and Lauren became ill. She went to the bathroom to vomit and was apologetic when she returned. They then decided to drink the tequila with mixers. Then told him that her brother was going to be dropping something off to her. She went outside for a few minutes. He never saw the brother. When she came back in, she went straight to the bathroom, and she stayed there for 10 to 15 minutes. They continued to watch the movie and finished the bottle of tequila. Lauren fell asleep on the couch, so he carried her to the bedroom and laid her in her bed. He then laid down next to her. He woke up at approximately 3 a.m. to use the bathroom, and Lauren was snoring. He woke up again approximately 6:30 a.m., and she was laying on her right side. Blood was coming out of her nostril on the bed, and she was not breathing. That is when he called 911. 1.
Apart from the incident report, the police have not taken him for questioning. No, the police didn't even get anything from the scene. Like, the family literally had to turn over a condom and some sedative pills. The family did all the work themselves. They had to hire an investigator. The police basically failed this black girl. Now, there has been a lot of talk about corruption. Since they posted this story on social media, a lot of people been contacting them and commenting that there is some connections. The police has connections with the young man, the Matthew LaFay guy, that his family is well known in Connecticut, and that's why nothing's came out. They're protecting their interests. And we know this ain't no surprise. In history has taught you that has happened.
Since this case has gone national, there's been thousands of people reporting or making comments on social media that this gentleman and the Bridgeport Police Department are one and the same, that his family has always gotten away with basically murder in that jurisdiction.
Now, let me tell you guys what broke my heart. The family was in contact with Bumble. I don't know if they contacted Bumble or Bumble contacted them, but they were in contact.
The CEO of Bumble have reached out to us, and today, as I sit here today, they confirmed that the police department in Bridgeport has not even requested anything from them, and that they're willing to give whatever's requested.
Bumble said that the police never reached out. The police never let them know anything. They even called for the autopsy, and the autopsy people basically told them the police ain't never contacted us.
Has the medical examiner given a preliminary report on her cause of death at this point? I know y'all are getting an independent autopsy, but presumably there would be an arrest warrant issued if there's anything corroborative of foul play that could have been related to this guy. Has the medical examiner said anything to that respect?
As of today, the Washington Post called up to the lab and was told that they're still reviewing and they don't have anything else to add at this point.
Wait a minute. An autopsy?
Yes.
A month later?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They said it'll be 30 more days before they would be done with it.
You typically can have a preliminary autopsy report in 24, 48 hours, max 72 hours. Then what they typically say is they send the tissue samples off for toxicology reports, and that comes in later. Normally, you have a preliminary ruling as to the cause of death.
Y'all, even at this point, the condom that the family turned in.
The gentleman said that he did not have sex with her. He did not take his clothes off. They slept with their clothes on. Yet still, we find a condom with semen in the bathroom. We find lubricant. We find a pill that's used as a sedative on the kitchen counter. These are what they call physical evidence. This is physical evidence. So in my 17 years of practice, what you normally do is take that physical evidence and compare it with the statement that this gentleman made. And then you see if it matches. So if there's a used condom with semen in it, that's an unknown. You compare that with the DNA of a known, which will be the gentleman. Take his DNA and compare it with the unknown, which is the semen in the condom. They didn't do that. They didn't even collect it.
Hasn't even been tested at all. They didn't even test the pills to really know, what's up with these pills, to know like if that was in her system. No, nothing.
On January 5th, I called a forensic laboratory in Meriden, Connecticut, which I've dealt with a lot of murder cases myself. And they said, they looked up the case number and said, the Bridgeport Police Department hasn't sent anything here. They said, is this the case about the young lady who died in Bridgeport? I said, yes. How did you know that? We saw it on the news. And they said, let's double check. They double checked. They said, nope, no submissions made by the Bridgeport Police Department. So where is the condom? Where is the lube? Where is the pill? It's like they just threw it out the window.
This whole case is crazy. And I'm so shocked. I learned about it from Cardi B talking about it in the Shade Room reposting. But this is crazy. We need to say justice for this girl. Justice. Let's have justice, because this is not okay.
Is there a 911 recording? Is there any audio recording of him calling the police? Police arrive. Is there any body camera footage from the officers when they came to her apartment?
At this point, the police have refused to turn over anything to my office, and they cite that it's an ongoing investigation. So we don't have that.
Is there an active investigation? Have they even articulated that to you and the family?
Yes. So they've articulated that there's an investigation. They didn't even quarantine off the area. They didn't do the normal CSI protocols. They didn't collect anything of value on that day.
Did they bring him to the police station to interview him
Nothing. This guy has not even been called a person of interest, much less he's a suspect, and they have not even called him a person of interest. They just let him go.
Matthew's attorney was doing an interview, and he basically would not say if he would give a DNA sample of any sort. He just was dodging all of the real questions and just saying it was really sad that Lauren passed.
If your client's asked, would he submit his DNA without a court order?
I would have to. I have no comment about that. Whether or not he'd give a DNA sample at this time.
Do we know what time they fell asleep? Has your client told investigators about that?
Yeah, I don't have any details about the time or the timeline of the events. Lauren, this terrible tragedy and loss of beautiful life. Let's not forget that. And our sincerest condolences go out to Lauren's family.
Now, this pissed me off because all of a sudden he don't know nothing about the alcohol. He don't know about no alcohol that was ingested. No, nothing. The attorney don't know nothing. And what's crazy is this man obviously gave the incident report saying all of the things that transpired. So now all of a sudden you don't know. Well, honey, you need to restudy the case and then come back and answer these questions, boo.
Did your client provide the alcohol? Was the alcohol at her home? Did they purchase it together?
I have no comments about any alcohol. I'm not aware of any who purchased it or who consumed it or where it came from.
Then they asked this man about the drugs. He's talking about, well, I don't know what Lauren may or may not have done that night. We don't know what happened. My client wasn't doing no drugs. We don't know. I'm sorry, I can't answer nothing. Now you dumb. Now you don't know. Now you just it's above you.
Regarding any drugs, he did not see any. He did not ingest any, and we have no idea what Lauren may or may not have done that night. Looking back at the toxicology report yesterday, we know that drugs were at play here and that this was ruled an accidental overdose. So obviously drugs were at play with at least Lauren that night, but my client did not see any of that.
And another thing that pissed me off, they asked if he just met her. In the incident report, he said that he had known her 3 days prior. Now all of a sudden, you can't say?
Did he just meet her that night?
I'm not sure about the timeline as to when they met.
So this may or may not have been the first time that they had gotten together?
Correct. Yeah, I'm not sure about the timeline as to when they first met. Correct.
All right.
I just wanted to report this story, guys. This is something that really irritated me. As soon as I learned about it, it annoyed me. So hopefully I did a good job breaking down what I, gathered together. And hopefully you guys understand. Please comment if you have anything, like, subscribe. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you later, okay? Bye-bye.